everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. I hope this one blesses you today. This is John chapter 11. I'm going to read verses 12 all the way down through 15. It reads, "The disciples said to him," that's Jesus, "Lord, if he, Lazarus, has fallen asleep, he will recover." Now Jesus had spoken of his death, but they thought that he meant he was taking a rest in sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, because sometimes guys need to hear it plainly. He said, "Lazarus is dead. He has died. And for your sake, I'm glad I was not there so that you may believe. But let's go to him." So this is interesting right here. This moment is interesting on so many levels. But the statement that captures my attention is this one here that reads, "For your sake, I am glad I was not there so that you may believe." So that you may believe. Now that is an interesting comment, is it not? And here's why. It means that Jesus knew several things on many different levels. But three critical things that I think are very important. First, that Lazarus was actually going to die, even though he knew well before he died that he was going to die. Second, that he was actually going to raise Lazarus from the dead, which he knew that he was going to do, of course. And third, that he was going to use the resurrection of Lazarus, this miracle, to deepen and enrich their belief. Not just for Lazarus and not just for Mary and Martha, but for them. So here's the deal, fellas. There's no one like Jesus. No one. I mean, what Jesus is about to do right here with the group of people he loves is really the prelude to the ultimate miracle, the resurrection of his own life from the dead. And if you've been studying with me since the beginning of John, you know that there have been several miracles of Jesus we've seen along the way. This is actually going to be the last one. But each time, slowly, Jesus has been increasing their effect and actually their impossibility. We started with water to wine in John chapter 2. Then we moved to healing the official son in John chapter 4. Then the healing of the paralytic by the pool. Remember that? He's passing by the pool. Then the feeding of the 5,000. Boom! We jump up, right? Then walking on water. Now Jesus is showing off. And then now next, the man who was born blind, right? And next, we all know what's going to happen. Lazarus is going to get up from the dead after being dead multiple days. But this phrase here, "For your sake, I am glad that I was not there so that you may believe," clarifies that Jesus knows and understands many things. That he knows and he understands that he can perform miracles, and he's going to. It's a look into the mind of Jesus behind the miracles, because he knows everything. It tells us that Jesus understands what's happening on every level. He sees and understands human tragedy even before it happens. He sees and understands our confusion and pain even before it happens. He sees and understands his own divine role in that moment. He sees and understands even divine timing. And he knows how all these things are going to impact and solidify our belief in him. And do you know what that is? It's actually incredibly comforting, isn't it, when you think about it? But it's only comforting if you have an unwavering faith and deep belief in Jesus Christ. Because on those days that pain and suffering and sins are great, all you see are your present circumstances. Isn't that true? Now, Jesus in those moments will seem distant, and you will struggle to understand what he's doing. That is until Jesus shows up. And when he does, it's always at the right moment and in the right way to do the right thing. And when he does, these are the words you're going to hear him say to you. They're going to echo in your heart. "For your sake, I am glad that I was not there so that you may believe." So fellas, don't waste time on unbelief anymore. Believe again today. Because guess what? Jesus knows what he's doing. That's comforting. I love you guys. I pray this blesses you today. And with that, I'll see you right back here again.